So I always start with my black. There's a decent amount of black in this, so I'm going to set up with 2 caps. Okay. Now I'm going to start coming through with my reds. So my first cap's going to be a plum, which is almost going to look like it's black, but it's not. Next will be a dark red. Followed by a dark magenta. Now a light magenta. You'll notice all these brands are different. I don't have one brand that I buy from. I buy from probably 5 different brands. And that's just over the years of finding inks that I really like. This is a bubblegum pink. This is a light pink. And this is some Georgia peach. So I think, as you can see, you're definitely getting some some darks to lights, as far as you still got the same warm tones, but this actually comes in a little bit lighter than it looks. So this is actually a higher value color. Now I'm going to come through with my oranges. Start with some brown. Into some light brown. This is a burnt orange color. Going to some regular orange. It's a really bright color right here. Next we got some butterscotch, which is like a muted yellowish brown. I like it. Going into some golden yellow. Now we have a regular yellow. And we got this mustard color, which I like for it's really useful for some off tones where you don't want them too bright. Kind of like back here, if you can see it. These areas right here, it's going to get a lot of mustard in there. And next we got some purples. So here's a purple concentrate. Going into a nice high valued straight purple. Now we got a light purple. And throw a cap of dark flesh right here. Really blends well with that purple. Complements it really well. That and the Georgia peach. Now I'm going to come through with some greens. This is a dark green. Which hasn't been opened yet. This is a color called Dirty Money. It's pretty new, I like it. It's like a really off tone. Almost like a green periwinkle, I like it. Here we got some lime green. And we got some artichoke flavored green, which is really thick. All right, now we're going to come through with our blues. This is our deep blue. Followed by a turquoise blue. This is kind of like a deeper sky blue. And then we have an icy blue. A periwinkle blue. And we have a cap of seafoam green, which really sits well with these blue palettes. Really looks nice. So I got two more warm colors I need to introduce. This is a really bright flamingo pink, which is going to be used a lot in this flower for some of the vibrant areas. And this is a tangerine, which is also a nice bright off color, as you can see. And the last three caps, we're going to set up some white. Two of them will probably be used for, muting down different colors, and one will be used for a white at the end. So there's our palette. We got our reds going down to our pinks into some tangerine, which I'll be using for a lot of colors. We have our oranges going from our dark brown to our light brown all the way down to our yellows. We have our purples, which is a 3 palette system, dark, medium, light. Greens, we have 4 of them, and then our blues, we have about 6 different colors because we're going to be using those for the face. And I feel pretty comfortable with this palette. I think every color of this piece will be able to be found and made with this 34 colors.
Let's pour out some ink now. Got a lot of ink, mostly intense. There's some good flesh colors by Millennium. Great flesh color by Intense Flesh Pot. Sienna is a really nice, like a mid-tone for portraits. Got more ink here. Fusion, I've been using a lot of Fusion lately. It's good stuff. So I'm going to start out with black, which is my Talons. Probably gonna need a lot of black, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour out 2 caps of that. There are blacks that are blacker than this, like Intense True Black, Fusion Inks, I think it's the Triple Black or Power Black. They're definitely blacker, but that's something if I go back into a piece the second time, I might get out some Power Black. I mean, Talons is dark enough. Sometimes the ones that are too black, it just, I don't know, makes a mess. Just pisses me off. Mean Green, Millennium, green. When I pour my ink, I'll go dark to light on my palette, so I know like kind of where I'm reaching and what color's what. So if I'll have like a medium blue next to the dark blue, then I know that that dark blue is blue and not a dark green or a dark purple, because they all kind of look the same. So green is pretty cool. Power Purple. I use purple a lot. I really like using it like in my shadows and dark areas. One of my favorite lavender type colors is Grape from Intense. A lot of people ask me like what kind of ink that I use, and it's like, it's a bunch of different companies that I like. There's certain colors that I like better out of each brand. This is one of my all-time favorite colors, is Dusty Rose from Eternal. It's great for like lips, or like the parts of the eyes, like the inner canthus or the bottom, where it's kind of pinkish color. Gums, tongue. It's great for all that type of stuff. As far as like a dark brown, I found that Fusion is really good. Intense is great. As far as dark browns, I really haven't found one that's like dominates another one. But this Power Brown is pretty good. Dark magenta. So I go from dark to light, so I'm putting a dark magenta next to my pink, so it's kind of like my dark, medium, and light. Kind of like gives me my like value ranges. This is another brown that I like. It's from Fusion. It's just called Brown. A similar color made by Intense. It's, I think, Intense Dark Brown. It's very similar. Looks really good. It's kind of almost like a reddish brown. And I would be doing the exact same thing if I was doing a portrait of somebody. Same colors. Light blue, Fusion, really good. As far as periwinkle, there's a few companies that have it. My favorite, though, is from Intense. It's a little bit more gray, which I like. Some of the other ones are a little bit too bright. Flesh Pot. Even though he doesn't have a lot of flesh, this is kind of a good ending for kind of dark, medium, light for hair. Get out one that I'm probably going to mix and get all muddied up from like these, and then a clean one. I might not use it that much, but like I was saying earlier, the more that you get out, the better, just in case. As far as a bright yellow, probably a Star Bright Yellow is the Canary Yellow, is still probably the brightest that you could possibly get. If but this atomic yellow, close competitor. I like it. Always get out a bunch of caps of white. What I'll do is I'll intermix these with this white, so this will get polluted with browns. This one will get polluted with like blue, so it stays within the same family. This one will get polluted by, you know, some purples and pinks. This one will be, you know, if I want to get greens lighter, I'll dip in that one. Our blue fusion. Another really good one is from Intense. I think it's Mario's blue. Good blue. This one's good though too. I don't think it's the ink that will make or break you as an artist or to do good tattoos, you know. It's good to see all the different types of ink that I use. How you use the ink. Probably not going to use it, but I'm going to get out a little bit of orange. Actually, I might mix it up with a little bit of brown for his eyes. Or I almost forgot, royal blue infusion, really good blue. Another orange that I like, sometimes the oranges are just too bright. Intense has an orange called hard orange. This is a newer bottle, it looks a little bit brighter. This is an older one, but I like it that it's not as bright. As far as reds, my all-time favorite red is Crimson Red from Eternal. Great for like lips, pin-up lips, you know, or anything red, fire. Another color that I like a lot is Wild Orchid from Eternal. It's kind of like a weird mucky burgundy, I guess. This is good for like dark parts of like inside of a mouth. Brick red, excuse me. If I need to get this color a little bit darker, I'll dip in like that dark purple, power purple. I'll use those dark purple colors to almost like darken anything if I need something darkened. Keeps it more rich rather than just using straight black. But I do use a lot of straight black too. I think it's real important. This is a newer product. Silverback makes it. It's called Silverback Clear. What it does is, I used to put distilled water on top of all the colors, like 1 drop. This, he recommends that you use 3 or 4 drops. What it does is it helps the ink, you know, actually come out a little bit smoother. And also, the ink won't dry up in the cap as fast. On some of the real thin colors, I might not put any, like yellow's really thin, I wouldn't put any. But so far I've been liking this stuff. I've only used it a few times. Normally I'll just use distilled water.